Right, I thought I'd just show you what connections we've got going on the back here. There's quite a few. We've got a 12 volt supply, which is the power for the screen. We have got another 12 volt supply, which is my dimmer for the backlighting. We've got the monitor connection. Sorry for the little edit there. When I plugged the monitor cable in, which is the last bit you saw, it sent all my screens to Lally and stopped the recording. So carrying on, after plugging the monitor cable in, we have two of these square USBs, and that's one each for each of the Arduinos, one for the Mega and one for the Uno. We don't need to run power to the Arduinos because we're not running enough LEDs to warrant having extra power, because obviously my backlighting is done by a separate supply. So the only LEDs that the Arduinos are powering are the execute light, the message light, play fail and offset. Okay, it's on to that time of interfacing the FMC with the sim. For this I'm going to be using Air Manager. So obviously the first job is to go and get Air Manager from Sim Innovations, download and purchase it. I'm using Air Manager desktop version. You can see on the FMC that I've got the screen working, and to do this I just went to obviously plug it all in, turn the computer on, then go to NVIDIA control panel, and then set up multiple displays, and you can see that I've got my FMC screen in the bottom right underneath my monitor. So if I slide off the bottom of my monitor, it comes onto the FMC. If it's all upside down, you need to go to rotate display, click on your display and then rotate it appropriately so that it's the right way up. Mine was upside down. I had to flip it landscape to get it right. And the resolution we're running on this display is 1024 by 768 at 60 Hertz. We need to remember that for later. Once all your monitors up and running, what I've done is I've fired up the sim. I'm in the Zebo in X-Plane, and I've got no scenery installed because this is just for testing purposes, so I don't need any scenery. I'm not going to be flying. So we're sitting on the runway. I believe we're at Stansted, but I'm not certain. BGSS, yeah, I think that's Stansted, isn't it? Yeah, London Stansted. And you can see I'm in the Zebo here. So first job in here is to get some power to the plane, and we'll stick it on GPU so we don't flatten the battery. Okay, so that's all fired up. We'll minimize that. When you first get Air Manager, if we fire it up now, what you'll have down in this bottom right corner is an update button. What you need to do is click that and it will download a plugin installer. And once that's finished, you need to not have X-Plane running and run the plugin installer. And what it'll do is it'll bring up this and it will say libraries installed, and down here where it says X-Plane 11 it will say installed. Obviously mine hasn't because I've already done it and my sim is running. Obviously that's for X-Plane, and then if you're running a different sim, whichever sim it is, it should say installed. So back to Air Manager. The first thing you'll need to do is click on device, and it should show what boards you've got plugged into your computer. So you can see I'm running a Mega 2560 and a Arduino Uno. You would then need to click on your device and click flash. Then you need to tell Air Manager what it is that you're wanting to flash. So mine would be a Mega 2560. Click next. Then you tell it what port it's plugged into. You can see it's picking up 3 because I've got 3 USBs plugged in at the moment. So you would pick your port. If it was your first Arduino, you would pick channel A, and then you would click flash, and what that would do is flash the Air Manager software onto your Arduino. So you would need to do that for every Arduino that you had. If you've got more than one Mega, your first one would be A, your second one would be B, the third one would be C, and so on. With the Uno, it's exactly the same. Let's come out of this. So you would pick your Uno, you would click flash, you would tell Air Manager it's an Arduino Uno, click next, you tell it what port it's on, and then you'd say, I've put my Arduino Uno on B, but I think I probably could have put it on A because it's an Uno, not a Mega. So I think you can have Mega A to Z and Uno A to Z, however many Arduinos you need. So now that Air Manager is CNR to Arduinos, the next job is to go to the online section, click on free community instruments. These are all the free ones. You can see there's loads, but we're only interested in the ones that work for Zebo, so I'm going to type in here Zebo. So these are currently the ones that people have made for Zebo. You've got the PFD, you've got a full FMC, so if you wanted to run an FMC on a touch monitor, you could. We've got the MCP down here, we've got the tablet, which I've had working on my little Samsung tablet, superb. And we've got an ethos. The one we're interested in is the CDU screen only. It's by Darren Lane, so thank you Darren. You would click over here where mine says delete, yours would say download, so you download it. Once it's downloaded, it will appear in this list, and in this part you can play with settings without having to keep stopping and starting the panel. So if I click on the CDU that we've just downloaded, this is what you've got. This is all the code for the FMC. Down here you've got whether you want to run the captains or first officer side. Obviously we want captain at the moment. For your encoder, for the screen brightness, you tell it here what type of encoder it is. Mine is type 2. And then the acceleration and debounce time on that encoder. Under hardware properties, this is where you would tell it what all your buttons are plugged into on your Arduino. This part is just really for testing. So you would, if you wanted to make sure something worked, you would tell it that it's on Arduino Mega, and we know Arduino Mega is channel A, and then pin A of the encoder, you would tell it which pin it's plugged into on the Arduino. Then you would run the script and it brings up a dummy FMC screen here where you could check to make sure that whatever you'd set up was working okay. If you want to make a change, all you've got to do is make the change here and then click run again, and it would rerun the script and you could see if your changes worked. That's what this bit's all about. When you actually come to doing your panel, you go along the top here to panels. You would click to add a panel, and then you put blank and call it what you like. I've called mine Zebo. When you've done that, it will bring Zebo up here with the light bulb next to it. You would click on that, and then you'd want to add instruments. So we would want to add the ones that we downloaded. So that would be this one at the top here, the CDU for Zebo, and the Zebo FMC execute light and Zebo FMC message light are little bits of script I writ myself, because the downloaded version didn't come with any way of powering the lights. So if you wanted to see my little bit of script for that, we go back to, if I click on execute light, you can see that little bit of script I've written to make the execute light light up, and then the same for the message light. I've still not found a way to power the offset light or the display fail light, because I can't find any data refs within X-Plane for doing that. I'm still looking, but for now they're not working. If anybody wants these two scripts, please just let me know and I'll send them to you to save you the hassle of writing them and figuring them out. Or you could just copy what I've got here. There's the other one in case you want to copy it. Okay, so once you've put the instruments in, you're going to end up with what I've got here. So if you double click Zebo, you can see we've got our FMC, which is here, and these two bits where it says no image found are my execute light and message light. And to run that, all we do is click the light bulb, and you'll see that it will fire up on our main screen, and that's the FMC running. We don't want it on the main screen, we want it on the CDU that I've got in front of me. So we'll close this down, and we need to tell Air Manager, you can see here at the moment it's displaying on display 1. We don't want that, that's my main monitor, so we'll change that to display 2. Now when we run it, you can see it's firing up on the other monitor. And you can also see on the camera that all the writing's in the wrong place. So the next job is to click on the panel, and where it says here position within the panel, this is the bit you're going to have to play with depending on your monitor to get them right. So we can see on the FMC that the writing is too squashed in height, so we need to adjust the height first, and it's pure guesswork until you get close. So we'll try 600, and you can see that it's jumped a little bit closer, so we'll go 680. Right, that's getting close, and I can already see that the top of the display is missing, so we need to bring it down a bit before we play with the size anymore. So position from the top, we'll try 50. Okay, I'm now starting to see the menu button come into the screen, so we'll try going a bit more, 80. Okay, that's looking good. What would help is for me to bring up more buttons or more of the display. So if I go to the sim and we'll zoom in on the FMC, clear that and press the FMC button, and you can see on my display that it's now changed, so we can use it better to size it to the screen. So back to Air Manager. So height is not looking too bad at the moment. We need to stretch it in width. So what we'll do is we'll take off the aspect ratio, and then width we'll try 1000. Press enter. Okay, it stretched it out a bit, but not quite enough. Let's try 1100. Okay, that's not looking too bad. I can see that the display is over to the right too much. So on the left value, we need to try 40. Right, that's moved it the wrong way, so we'll put a minus in front of that, minus 40. Now jump it over to the left. I think we'll go left a little bit more. Okay, that's looking good. We can see we need to stretch the display right again now. So we'll go width 1150. That's looking good. I think we'll go with that. Okay, so that's the display now working, and if we click the light bulb and turn off the panel, and then click the light bulb and turn it on again, it should all come back to that screen where we left it. Which it has. Right, perfect. Now the next part is on to setting up the buttons. So we would click on our CDU, and if we scroll down a bit, you can see here the same settings we saw in the create and edit part. So captain side, my encoder is type 2, and down here you can see I've already set up a lot of the keys, but I've left some of them to show you how it's done. So the first one it's asking for is the rotary encoder, so the brightness dial, and I've got my list that we made earlier in one of the earlier videos that tell me what pin each button or encoder is connected to. So all I've got to do is tell it that it's on Arduino Mega. We know that Arduino Mega is our channel A. Pin A, if I look at my list, is connected to pin D13. So all I do is go down here and find D13. And pin B is connected to D12. So again, down here onto D12. That's now that encoder done, and we'll just test it out. So we'll stop the panel, fire it up again, and if we pop back to the sim, if I now turn this encoder, you can see the screen in the sim and mine are dimming, and then bright again. We know that that's all working. Carrying on with the next buttons. It's asking for the init key, which is the initial reference. So we know that if I look at my list, my init key is connected to D34. So that's Arduino Mega, channel A, and then D34. That's that one done. So root key is connected to D18. So Arduino Mega, channel A, D18. And the climb key is connected to D16. So Arduino Mega, channel A, D16. The only place where this is different, if I scroll down, because I ran out of pins on my Mega, I had to use the Uno. So my progress key is actually wired up to my Uno and not the Mega. So obviously with this one, I selected Uno. And we know that we set Uno up as channel B. So you do channel B and then whatever pin it's connected to on the Uno. Go through and set all your buttons up, and trust me, it takes a little while and it gets monotonous, but it's worth it when it's all done. There's quite a few. That's then all the buttons configured. The next job is to do my bit of script. Exactly the same. You don't have to worry about the position within the panel. All you need to worry about is telling Air Manager what it's connected to, and this one is connected to my Uno, which we know is channel B, and it's connected to pin 8. And the FMC message light is again the Uno, channel B, and it's connected to pin 6. So with that all done, we would stop the panel, start it up again. Now when we go to flight sim, and I'll bring that up full screen, we should now have a fully working FMC. So if I go to index, I'm not doing anything in particular here, I'm just checking that all the buttons work. Performance, takeoff, approach, offset. So all of those keys are working fine. What we can do to check the LEDs is to, I suppose what we can do is fill in a dummy I think we'll just fill in any old route in there. What we'll do is we'll get the IRSs aligning. That should bring up a message about, I don't know if it'll bring up the out of date nav thing or not, we'll see. So it's asking here for our IRS position, so we'll go to next page, take the GPS left, previous page, set that in there. Origin will say we're at ESS, plonk that in there. Destination, I don't know, where should we go today? Let's go to Gatwick. EGKK. Flight number, that doesn't matter for this. Okay, I don't seem to have a bottom right button. Okay, we'll have to check that out in a bit. How can we get onto that? What we'll do is just run through all the buttons to make sure that they're all working. Yeah, I don't seem to have a bottom right key. Let's just go back to Air Manager and check that out. So, right select key number 6 should be on D6. There's the left select keys, right select key, Right, select key, Arduino Mega, channel A, D6. Yeah, that should be right. Just by turning the panel off and on again. No, I don't seem to have that key working. Okay, well, let's see if we can carry on without it, and I'll have a look in a little while. So, gross weight, we'll plonk that in. Reserves, will say 3. Cost index will say 6. Cruise altitude, I don't know, say flight level 280. Okay, so we've got an execute light come up, so that's all working, so we can execute that. Can't go to the next page, so we'll have to do it manually. N1 limit. Not too sure how to get to the takeoff page without. How do I get to the takeoff page? I'll tell you what we can do. We can go to index. Right, so if I put in here a flap 6, that should give us an error and make the message light up. Which it does. We've got invalid entry and the message light has come on, so we know that that's working. So that's the LEDs working. So flaps 5. That's our V speed, so there and there, so we know that these keys are working. It's just that one that doesn't seem to be registering. I might have pulled the cable out maybe while I've been messing about, but I'll check that out afterwards. It has been working because I've already tried it, obviously before making this video, to make sure that what I'm telling you is right. So we'll depart in, runway 4, yeah, that's fine. And arrive in 26 left for 1. We should be able to I can't activate it because the button won't work. Okay, bear with me, I will have a little dig into that and see what's going on. But yeah, that's basically everything working with the sim. If I actually show you the sim, sorry, you've been looking at that screen for ages. You can see that whatever I press in here is changing on the Zevo as well. And likewise, if I change with the mouse in the Zevo, you can see my physical FMC just showing everything that that's showing. That's pretty much it for now. I'm going to call the FMC done, apart from that single button that's not working. What I'll do is I'll investigate that now and then just come back with a little edit to tell you what was the matter with it. I'm pretty sure it's probably just pulled out of the back of the Arduino where I've been messing about, plugging stuff in with one hand, etc. So thank you for watching. If you if this tutorial, if you like, follow along build has helped you in any way, please do give me a thumbs up. Add any comments you wish in the videos and I'll do my best to help out if I can. Next up is the MCP build, which I've already started doing videos for, so you can look out for that soon. But thank you very much, and I shall see you again. Hello, welcome back again. It's been about 5 minutes, and as soon as I turned the FMC round, I could instantly see what the problem was with the right select 6 key. It had come out from the Arduino, so I'm guessing I'd accidentally pulled it out, but it's now all working. I just want to check you can see the FMC. You can. So if I now press that key, you can see that it's working absolutely fine now. So that's everything now working, and I can't believe I forgot to show you the backlighting in the first video. So using my 12-volt dimmer, which in time will be added to the pedestal, if I click that, you can see all the backlighting comes on, and I'll just go turn the lights off. There you go. Still getting just a touch of light bleed around these buttons. I may fix that in time, but after yesterday I've had enough of taking this FMC apart and putting it together again, so for now that will just stay like that. I'm not sure how that's showing up on the camera. It's actually showing more light bleed on the camera than I can actually see. But it's way brighter than I need it, so you know I can dim it down as much as I like. Virtually nothing. If I just give you a more head-on shot of it. There you go. Yeah, it's blowing out quite a bit on the camera. It's much more clearer for my eyes than what the camera's showing. So there you go, that's everything working now, and I'm looking forward to doing my first flight with it later on tonight, just temporarily hooked up to my sim PC. Thank you all for watching.